everybody, and welcome to Tarot by the Moon. Tasha here at Tarot by the Moon. Welcome to your Starseed reading. It's the post-full moon energy Starseed reading. Coming in a little bit late, as I explained in my last video. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. It's a collective reading. It's not a tarot reading, in case you haven't tuned in before. It's actually a Starseed reading. It's something I've been called. I felt a calling to weave it into the tarot community to help us to come to terms with and process the information of starseeds and how you might be operating as a starseed and what we can do to sort of support and help each other through that. Okay. I had a massive wake-up call about it earlier on this year when I was given my own starseed origins, which was an absolutely amazing experience, and I was actually brought a channeled message by my Pleiadian grandmothers, and then I stumbled upon this fabulous little oracle set which I knew was just, you know, the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and Daniel Noel. It's absolutely wonderful, and there's a 3-card spread in there, and I just felt such a strong urge to bring it into my tarot channel. So once a week I do a collective tarot reading, which I've done the other day, and I recommend to go and have a look at that. Then I do the Starseed reading, and then I've recently started doing a elemental collective love reading as well, which I'll be doing after this. I really need your likes, I really need your subscribes, I really need your shares, your comments. Give me all the love, give me all the love. Please keep it coming. It means everything. It means I can grow. Thank you so much to new members as well. Thank you so much to new subscribers. It makes my absolute day to be in touch with you guys. And if you don't feel comfortable subscribing, then please just enjoy the channel, but please reconsider subscribing, and please reconsider supporting me in any way you think you can, my loves, okay? To keep this channel growing and going for the greater good of all, okay? So I hope you're all well, my loves. I hope you're all riding the wave of that full moon in Gemini energy that we had last week. So we're just coming off the tail end of that. We're in the release of that now. So we're letting go, we're sorting, we're sifting, and it's time for our collective starseed reading. Now, as I always do at Tarot by the Moon, I'm just going to call in the highest vibration of love, only love, into this reading today for ourselves, for the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous planet that we live on, for each other, for all of the species, be they plant, animal or otherwise, that we share this beautiful planet with. That are surely our teachers and guides, for all of the star ancestors, spirits, interdimensional beings and other that oversee these readings and help us and oversee and guide our lives. Nothing but radical compassion and love. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is, my darlings. Feeling a little bit of that exuberant energy today. The moon's been in Leo over the last couple of days and still is today. I've got a little bit of Leo in my own chart. I've got a little bit of Leo in Venus. Well, say a little bit of Leo. I've got Leo in Venus, so it does come out of me quite that lion-y energy. I'm feeling that. I think you can tell by my energy is quite, you know what I'm saying. Outgoing, confident. Not that all Leos are exactly the same, not to say that. If you want to understand astrology on a deeper level, Pam Gregory, that's all. Okay, my loves. And please look at where these things that I talk about are in your charts and things as well, if you don't already know. Because honestly, it'll open up so many doors for you of understanding and knowledge and growth. Okay, my darlings. So let's go in. So what I do 3 cards. It's a 3-card spread out of the guidebook. Okay, we do 3 cards. One represents what's expected of us. Okay, now that can mean what's expected of us about just by general life and general ordinary normal world around us. I don't like to say by normal people, because that sort of suggests that we're separate from each other. And this channel and this particular reading in particular is all about unity. It's about unity consciousness. So yeah, there might be some people who consider themselves spiritual and then other people who don't consider themselves spiritual. But you know what? It doesn't matter. And the more we try to sort of grasp onto oh, well, I'm looking for, I'm searching for enlightenment outside of myself for enlightenment. I'm in, you're not. This is the thing. This is the riddle of it. It's like, well, no, you're not. There's just as much, if not more, ego among so-called spiritual people and ascended people as there ever is among anyone who considers themselves otherwise. The truth is, and the part of the message that I got to discipline myself all the time, because it's like a habit that we've learned as well, to separate. And we complain that there's war in the world and that there's separation from each other and all of this, but yet we have to scold ourselves as well. And I feel like it is literally those Pleiadian grammars will scold me for, it's not a case of like in Harry Potter, for instance, the muggles and the magic people. It's not. It's really not, because that's not unity consciousness. That's coming at a problem in the same energy that created it, as Einstein would have said, yeah? Anyway, I digress. So that is kind of part of where this card falls, okay, is what's expected of us. So by that, I mean just general life, just humdrum everyday life, let's put it like that, okay? It can also mean what's expected of us by our higher selves and by our star ancestors, okay? So we'll see as it comes up. The next card, because this is assuming we're all on a double mission. If you relate to the term light worker, healer, starseed, white witch, or any other colour witch, come to that, or otherwise, then this channel is for you, okay? This is how we're all learning and growing. This is how we're all coming to integrate the lessons and the downloads and the evolution of this life that we call humanity on planet Earth, okay? So the next one is our hero's journey, okay? What is our actual soul mission? What is really going on? What's the double mission? So it's it could be what's coming up in your everyday, what's expected of you on an everyday. It could be what your higher self or your star ancestors expect of you. The next one is what your hero's journey is. And the third one is like a bridge. How are we actually integrating all of that together? So I hope that makes sense. Please ask me questions if you're not sure. Please get in touch. Please leave me messages. Please give me likes, shares and subscribes. I love you guys so much. Let's go in. So we do 3 cards, then I clarify with a little bit of tarot, and then at the end I bring in Black Moon astrology, okay, as well, to help us to understand what's going on. So let's see what's coming up with that. In the background, in case you haven't watched before, is my 2 dogs you can hear. They're both my canine pals. They are absolutely fabulous. One's a collie dog called Mr. Murray. Sometimes I call him Maurice. Sometimes I call him Bum Bum. as we do, we have lots of names for each other often. The other one is Parsons Russell. He's Mr. Milo, aka Puppy Cat, aka all sorts of other names you might hear me call him. They're both quite sleepy at the minute and quiet, which is unusual, but we've just come back from a mega walk. It's absolutely beautiful day here today. It's my favourite kind of weather. The sky's really blue, really clear. There's lots of sunshine. But also it's cold and it's frosty, and you've got that beauty of the frost and the ice over the lake and everything. There we are, 3 cards straight away. Beautiful, loving it. And if you wrap up warm enough, which I did, you don't feel cold at all. You just feel alive, I think. And I've always said this is my favourite weather. It's an absolutely glorious winter we're having. We've been really, really lucky so far. We haven't had much in the way of wind and rain. We've just had beautiful, bright, clear, crisp days, which I absolutely love. I find them very energising. So let's see what's coming up. 3 cards came out straight away. We've got Messenger. I knew Sirius energy was going to come up today. It's come up for me a few times this morning already. We've got the Star Brothers. Beautiful Horus energy, Egyptian energy. And we've got Breath of the Cosmos coming up there. So let's have a little look at this first card. This is what's coming up and what's expected of us. Messenger, serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. I've not turned this card over at all before. This is the first turn of this card that I've ever had, either for myself individually or collectively for the channel. Okay, so have a good look at that, my gorgeous ones. Absorb that energy. It's absolutely glorious. The illustrations and the colours are absolutely glorious. Okay, and I'll have a little look-see at the book and see what that's all about for us. So, you know, this is just all about helping us to integrate the experience of being starseeds and healers, really. Okay, my loves. So let's see what's coming up. Serious energy. Okay. You're part of the lineage of souls who have dedicated their lifetimes to the upliftment of this planet, to returning time and time again to seed the light, the crystalline ones, the ones who are here to plant the sacredness of life back in, to honour both the sacred feminine and masculine, to usher deep reverence back in. Many ascended masters are thought to be connected to the energy of Sirius, often appearing as a shade of blue. They hold the frequency of pure love and are here to help the masculine and feminine exist in harmony, to ensure a greater balance, to help us see that we're all connected and that the masculine and feminine energies exist within us all. You're being called to bring about this balance and harmony between the masculine and feminine, to be a guardian of harmony and balance on earth. Think of the whales travelling around the globe, sharing love through their healing vibrational song. They are unique notes send balance and harmony to every corner of the planet. A rebalancing of the masculine and feminine is occurring worldwide. It is a resurgence of the sacred within us all. A returning of the sacred union within. A rekindling of heaven and earth. You can begin to bring harmony and balance by creating it in your own life. The ripples will flow from there. You can honour and balance the sacred masculine and feminine energies within yourself and others. Wow, absolutely glorious energy. The Starseed Soul Inquiry is, how are you being called to bring harmony to your life or the planet? How are you being called to honour the sacred masculine and feminine within you? I'm loving this. Now this is, it doesn't surprise me that we've hit on serious energy today, because like I say, I've had a couple of things this morning hit me out of the blue about serious energy. We're coming up for the star, right, incidentally, right, so the tarot, let's talk about tarot for a minute. We talked about this the other day on the channel, actually. So you will, right, the word, ancient word for Christmas, pre-Christian word for Christmas in the Northern Hemisphere was Yule. Okay, comes from the sort of Scandinavian peoples, all right. It means wheel, all right. We're through that wheel. We're nearly at winter solstice, all right. The card that represents that in the tarot, as many of you will know, is the star. You see where I'm going with this? The brightest star in the sky, if you're on planet Earth, is Sirius. Yeah? Sirius energy. It's perfect. This is our... this is our star ancestors coming in and showing us what we need, where we need to start. Sometimes we don't know where to start, do we, with sort of like... this, we all feel like we're on a mission. It's part of the starseed, being a healer, being a starseed, being a light worker, whatever. It's part of your sort of makeup and your sort of mission, that you feel like you're meant to be doing something, that you feel like you're on a mission, okay? But where do you start? But where do you start? Do you know what? This is exactly where you start. This is exactly where you start, because I could do hours and hours of chatting about all of the problems in the world, all of the discord in the world, and how a lot of it, the root of it, is the imbalance between masculine and feminine, is the fear that men and women in the world that we live in not the world that we live in, because we create our own world and we're creating our own higher vibe, yeah, to bring, and the whole world's coming with us on that as well. We're all going together. But you know what I'm saying, the actual planet through our lifetime has been very dense energy, and a lot of that dense energy has been down to the fear that men and women have of each other. Okay, there's a lot of control, there's a lot of fear, and this is showing us clearly that the perfect place to start with balance and all of that isn't sort of going, you know, oh, well, my husband, he could be doing this different, or he could be doing that different, or my boyfriend, or my girlfriend, or my wife, or my father did this, or my mother did that. It's to actually look at those principles within yourself, within each of us. There's the masculine and the feminine, and sadly, because of the way we've been conditioned for so long, for like eons on this planet, we've sort of lost that respect within ourselves, both sides of our nature. Ancient cultures recognised it. I'm thinking about American Indian culture in particular right now, because I'm sure I've read up quite a lot about one of the particular tribes. I can't remember which one right now, but they really recognised that and honoured that. They didn't just have like we've got today, you know, so-called straight people, so-called lesbian people, so-called gay people, bi plus that. There was no need for that. They had this whole spectrum. It was, I think there was about 9 different, something like that I read. There was about 9 different types of person you could be in your sexual orientation and gender and what you identified as. And it was never a question of are we pro LGBT plus. It wasn't even an issue, you know. It was just understood on a deeper level. When I read it, it really hit me anyway at the time, and I'm just being reminded of it. It wasn't even an issue, it wasn't even a question. So it was just understood by these ancient people that, of course, the natural human state is a blend of masculine and feminine energies. We're all individuals, so of course that'll be expressed in a variety of different ways in how we express ourselves in daily life. What's happened over the eons is that it's become perverted. Now, that might be looked upon as perverted by some people, but the truth is, the way we overly masculinise, this is for boys, that's for girls. If you're a real woman, you'll be like this. If you're a real man, you'll be like that. And it's just not natural. It's not truly, truly natural. We're not. It's like there's so much stigma and so much taboo even still in many cultures around just allowing yourself to be a natural human being and just being what you are, just cultivating what you are from a high vibration of love and being comfortable with that, and being comfortable with that in other people also. Balanced in your masculine and your feminine sides. You know, just because a woman wants to balance her masculine side, that doesn't mean she's going to, you know, there's all of the stigma, isn't it? Oh, she's butch, she's this, she's that. And the same with a man. If a man wants to bring out and nurture his feminine side, oh, he's this. No, it's to be allowed, it's to be brought up, it's to be understood at the basic principle level of what it is also, and not to be thought of in a novelty or a sniggering, sexualised sort of way. Anyway, it's a holy thing. It's a very, very holy thing. The masculine and feminine energy is the most holy things of all. Is how all creation has begun. Stillness and movement. Stillness being dynamic, being the male principle. Being stillness being the feminine principle. Waiting, receptive stillness. Movement, dynamic, the male principle. And many mystics and occultists, and I've read lots and lots of literature that's made me think about things in those terms certainly as well. One being springs to mind now is quite a deep read, but I'm being urged to say it. I haven't read it for years, but I've got a copy of it here The Cosmic Doctrine by Dion Fortune and things like that, because it teaches you that nothing happened in the universe until something was still and something moved. So the dynamic male principle, the movement and the stillness, the receptive quality of feminine. And it's within everything. It's in everything. It's in every single species of plant. It's in every single species of animal. It's in each one of us. It's holy as can be, you know. So to sort of snigger at these things and make them into a novelty thing or a sexual thing or whatever is almost profane. We should be looking at it at a deeper level. We should be healing that. We should be honouring that. When your masculine and feminine within you are perfectly balanced and at peace with each other and not scared of each other anymore. So the receptive part of you and the active part of you, if you think of it like that, at the basic root principle of it, is in balance and harmony. We have what the mystics call the divine union within. And when we have the divine union within, we become a complete and whole natural human being as we're meant to be. Okay? Excuse my dogs. Very, very difficult in today's society with all of the pressures that we have on us, for sure. And nobody's perfect, and anyone claiming that they've reached this perfect, you know, we're all... The thing is, you may reach it. You may reach that perfect divine expression of masculine and feminine energies, and you may even become an ascended master, who knows? But to maintain it is another thing, especially in this human life that we have. And that's not to say we should get stressed out that we're not in perfect balance, or that we should get stressed out that we're not maintaining that. We shouldn't take... It's a riddle, because in a way it's very, very important, but in a way part of the lesson of being a human being is not to take it so seriously as well, okay? But just to bear in mind those basic principles of within yourself, of where am I healing my divine feminine, where am I healing that part of me that is still, is nurturing, is waiting, is wanting to receive, and then where am I healing that part of me that's dynamic, that's active, that's seeking, that's moving. And when you've just keep going with it, just keep going with it a little bit at a time whenever you can, you will eventually, even if not in this lifetime, but sooner or later in the right lifetime, you will have brought those two principles together perfectly within yourself. And of course then that's reflected in all of our other relationships also, and vice versa. So all of the other relationships that you will have received with the opposite sex up till now will have affected you and will have affected where you're at with all of that. And that's why it's important to heal and let those hurts go, okay? And to forgive and to be able to trust each other again. Massive, massive issues on the planet, for sure. But also, when you've started to do this kind of healing and you've started to recognise this principle in everything and in everyone and in yourself, it will affect positively your relationships around you, your relationships with the opposite sex. You'll see what needs healing, you'll see what's reflecting back to you for healing, and how you're affecting other people as well, by the same token. So that is quite deep, I suppose, but also quite simple at the same time. Feeling that sort of riddle energy there. It is, though. It is, and I hope you're with me, and I hope you're understanding where I'm coming from with that. Because, of course, what I always teach you guys, and big part of the lesson that I hope that I'm bringing across for you guys anyway in all of my readings, be they the starseed ones or the tarot readings, are what we heal in ourselves ripples out. We heal it for everyone. You heal it for your family line, you heal it for the whole of humanity, you're healing it for the planet, you're healing it for the whole ecosystem. So if you can imagine those feminine and masculine principles are in everything, all of life, okay? You can't fix the ecosystem, for instance. Can't. What you can fix, you can't stop war, maybe, you know. Well, what you can fix is the war inside. What you can fix, or try and start to shine a light on, is your own masculine and feminine energies. And once you focus on that, that'll ripple out and have more of an effect than you might think, is what I want to say, my loves, okay? The next card coming up, we have this one quite a lot. This one keeps coming up for us at Tarot by the Moon on the Starseed reading, and it's one that I get a lot to work with personally as well, because every week I take one of these and I leave it on the stand and I work with that energy for the week until I check back in with you guys. And I've had this one many times, so I know it's very personal to us, this one here at Tarot by the Moon, and it's the Star Brothers. Good old Star Brothers watching over us, okay? Egyptian influences there, big time. So many of you may have been drawn to Egyptian history, mythology, religion. Many of you may feel that maybe you had a past life there. You probably did. Many of us have. Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety and trust. Okay, beautiful Star Brother there. Look at him. I mean, he's got your back, okay? Absolutely beautiful. Divine masculine energy. Let's see what's coming up. I'll read it out to you in case we've not, just to remind us, or in case you've not tuned in before. Okay, so this is our double mission. So this is what's expected of us, all right? By our star ancestors, by our future selves, by our higher selves, is that we heal this before we go out healing the world. This is what we need to focus on. Your own male and divine feminine, divine masculine energies, okay? Star Brothers is the double mission. You're more protected than you can imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. Yes, your heart has a back. You're being called to be open to receiving a new level of support now from those in your life and from the benevolent beings you're connected with. Through ancestral patterning, current life traumas and past life karmic impressions, many of us have become mistrustful and suspicious of loyalty and have blocks when it comes to receiving support. We've learned that we need to go at life alone. That it is not safe to let our guard down and our heart open. That the world isn't a friendly place. The Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on Earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, even if you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them, to see them as opportunities to let in more love. They're guiding you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support than you can ever imagine, both in this world and beyond. To call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. They want you to learn to soften through life's ups and downs and to learn to be open in your heart, especially when it wants most to harden. How can you open yourself up to receiving more support? It's perfect, my loves. It's perfect on this run up to midwinter. That has been our star card, I'd say, this year. Since I started using this star oracle set, Star Brothers, I'm going to name this our star card, oracle card for this year. They've been there, they've been protecting us all year, and they've been encouraging us all year to remember that part of our double mission. Now, this is another riddle, but bear with me. If you've been drawn to starseeds, like working, etc., and that's why you're watching this right now, okay, bless you, you'll feel very lonely very often. You'll feel like nobody understands you, like you're meant to be going it alone. And part of the journey is to be comfortable with your aloneness, for sure. But the Star Brothers want you to remember, and they want you to remember it at midwinter, and they've been with us all year to remind us of this, and I feel a really strong presence now. Okay, my loves. Is that you're not alone, actually, and that it is safe to open up. Now, many of us have learned the hard way, especially as healers, okay, because you can't be a decent healer unless you've been pretty badly hurt yourself, well known, yeah. And part of that lesson is to remain open-hearted, and it's so counterintuitive, isn't it? It's so counterintuitive. The very thing the human heart wants to do is clench up once it's been hurt. But the very thing that we're learning to do is to keep going through that hurt, to learn the lessons of that hurt, that we can heal others, okay? And keep that heart open. And not just keep that heart open, but keep it opening up even more than you thought it could. Okay? You've got a full team of support with you. Even if you feel alone, even if you are feeling quite secluded as you're watching this, or that you haven't got a lot of people that are in your circle or that you reach out to because that's the way where you're at on your soul journey right now. Call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. Right, even if you've just got a small circle of friends, which, you know, a lot of us, especially as types of healers and everything, again, and not to separate, this is part of it, to realise that we're not separate from the rest of humanity. We're not, and it would be egotistical, it would be narcissistic even of us to believe that we are, you know, which is the very opposite thing that we're about. But that's the trick of being human and being a starseed on this planet. So yes, you have past lives as a starseed. Yes, there's past lives that you can remember, perhaps in Egypt or in Sirius or whatever. Okay, fantastic. And you've come back to seed the light and to bring this energy in for everyone to benefit from. Okay, but you are a human being. Yes, you are, whether you like it or not. And part of the Starseed mission is to learn to be happy being a human being. And to be happy being a human being means you have to open your heart up time and time again. Doesn't matter how many times you get hurt, you still got to keep that heart open. You still got to keep trying to heal that heart and open it up. And every time that you do you know what? And I can tell you this from experience. Every time that you do come through the other side of that, and you stitch that heart up, and you heal it, and you come back out, and you allow yourself to make friends again and fall in love again or whatever, okay? The heart is even bigger than it was before. It expands on that spiral, my loves, okay? Do not doubt it, and do not doubt what you're healing here. You're healing for everyone, and do not doubt that you're not alone, okay? You feel like you're alone, you feel like there's no one understands you, and very often there's not in that time, space, moment, you know? You'll feel like you're going crazy. You'll start to question things, question yourselves and all the rest of it. Please call in your star brothers, call in your guides, call in your angels, whatever you prefer to work with, okay? They are on standby, they are waiting, they are listening, they are continuously supporting you and encouraging you, okay? Soften through life's ups and downs and learn to open your heart, especially when it most wants to harden. Okay, my loves. So how we breathe in all of this together? The breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. We have had this one once before, I fancy we did have this one once before. Okay, so this is how we're bridging all of that energy that we've just chatted about together. Okay. Breath of the cosmos. Oh, excuse me, my belly is rumbling. I've been up for a long time and I've only had a little bit of have something to eat after I've done this and I'll ground the energy. When we rely on our own will, we're micromanaging the universe and resisting the natural flow of life. Exactly. It's not just you. Cut the ego out. That's what I'm just saying. That's what I'm getting at. It's a whole team behind you. We're not trusting the mysterious breath of life. We're rejecting the great cosmic intelligence, relying instead on your own personal strength. When we do this, we find ourselves attempting to bend things to our will. We spend our time forcing, pushing, and living from a space of trying to. Everyone around us can feel it, and the universe will too. You're being called to stop micromanaging the universe and trust in the breath of life, to surrender to the greater will that God has for you, to move from my will to thy will. When you surrender to the greater will of life, you begin dancing with the rest of life. When you bow to the great mystery and say, please use me, please show me the way, little by little you find yourself living your most fulfilling, authentic life. When you surrender your personal will, when you relinquish control and release the way you think things should be and surrender to the greater will, you will find yourself being led. You begin breathing the breath of life. Exactly. This is what came up in the first one. I feel very strongly. It's a case of, this is what your higher self, this is what our future selves, this is what our fifth dimensional future higher self, most perfect version of ourselves is showing us, all right? That's what we need to surrender to. Some people call it God. Love is what I think of it as well. If you replace the word God with love, and I mean just divine love, divine will, the better aspects of yourself, be led by that, not the controlling, fearful, micromanaging bit of yourself. No! We're moving away from that, and I'm sure you'll all agree we are definitely moving away from that, and we're letting God in, effectively, for want of a better way of putting it. Which means you, which means me. We're all the creator. We're all part of it. We all have a higher self. We all have a version of ourselves that's already living our best life, you know, on a timeline down that road. Imagine that best version of you living your best life ever, and what they would say about what's going on for you. They'd say, well, you need to realise that you're multidimensional. You need to realise that you're not alone. You need to realise that spirituality, the spiritual gifts are very real, and that you're not crazy. Okay, you need to realise that this is what we're meant to be doing here, to bring in healing for humanity. Okay, we need to drop the ego and realise that we're not alone. All right, and that we're part of something so much greater, so much more beautiful. Starseed activation here, my loves. So as I say to you every week, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, it's fine. Just skip this bit. But all it involves is me taking you through 3 deep breaths, and by that I mean you fill your belly up. Nice long deep breath to around about the count of 8. You hold it for around about the count of 4, and then we release it for around about the count of 8. We do that 3 times. And then we read the starseed activation. You can say the words along with me. You can write them down, whatever feels comfortable to you, okay? And place your hand on your heart, okay, my loves? So I'm going to go in with that. So let's breathe. I'm willing to stop relying on my own strength and personal agenda and instead surrender to the breath of life. Dear God, help me move from my will to thy will. Please lead me. Please show me the way. I'm willing to stop relying on my own strength and personal agenda and instead surrender to the breath of life. Dear God, help me move from my will to thy will. Please lead me. Please show me the way. One more time, my loves. I'm willing to stop relying on my own strength and personal agenda and instead surrender to the breath of life. Dear God, help me move from my will to thy will. Please lead me. Please show me the way. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. I hope you found that of some help. Anyway, my loves, it does get rather deep sometimes. Like somebody said to me the other week they'd enjoyed the tarot reading, but that this was way over their heads and whatever. And again, you know, I felt nothing but love for them because it's something that you come to in your own time. And I'm sure that many of you understand what I'm getting at by that, okay? It's not a competition, it's not a race, nobody's better than anyone, nobody's more advanced than anyone. We're all just where we should be, okay, my loves? So I'm just going to clarify it with a little bit of tarot. So even if you've watched this and you've enjoyed it, but you haven't fully understood it all, that's okay. Because let me tell you now, it's taken me years on this journey, and I'm only scratching the surface of it. And Spirit will only let you take on what you can process, information wise, okay, download wise, spiritual awakening wise. without sort of absolutely blowing short circuit in our after all, human brains, okay? So bear that in mind. If you didn't understand every little aspect of this or what I was getting at or whatever, that's okay. That's perfectly normal, in fact. There will have been things that will have gone in. There will have been seeds sown. There will have been little chords struck within you. Okay, and you will have felt the love coming through, I hope so anyway, from your star ancestors also doing this reading. So these have kind of dropped out straight away. So thank you to Spirit for those. We're using the Thelema Tarot today to clarify. Thelema, not be the Church of Thelema, it's just simply named after the Greek word which means will or intent. We've got a 7 of Wands. Keeps coming up for us, the 7 of Wands. Came up for us in the Swedish Tarot the other day as well. It's about defending, it's about making a stand and defending something very much there, okay? We've also got a Page of Pentacles. He's come up for us before in this deck as well. Beautiful, beautiful child. A 4 of Wands. It's beautiful, 4 of Wands. Look at that. Look at that. Glorious. 2 doves. I love that 4 of Wands. It's so pretty. Bear with me, because this is a new tarot deck, newish tarot deck as well, and they all have slightly different interpretations. So let's see what the reference for that is. The harvest is here, and I have to carefully pick the ripest parts of the... No, that's Pentacle. A wand, sorry. Coming. That's all it says for the interpretation for the Thelema 7 of Wands, my loves, is, and you're going to love this now, come and help me defend the secret place. Oh my goodness, I've just gone cold all over. This is why I'm guided to pick particular decks for particular readings, etc. And, you know, all of the decks have slightly different interpretations of the meanings of the cards and everything, and I'm so glad I used actual reference to look that up, because that is spot on what starseeds are about. Okay, that is spot on. And we got the Moon in Leo as well, which I did mention in the preamble, and she's got a beautiful lion carved in that gateway above her also. It's just blown me away. I'm going to read it to you again. It's so simple, but it's come and help me defend this secret place. Exactly, that's the mission. That's what we're doing here. That's why we've reincarnated you again. We are defending the secret place. Come and help me defend the secret place. This is what's expected of us. Balancing the masculine and the feminine is part of defending this secret place, where things have become dualistic, where there is a male and a female that's separate, where everything is a bit mixed up in that way on planet Earth. Come and help me defend this secret place. That couldn't be more of a starseed message, and so direct. I'm sure you'll agree. The next one was the Page of Pentacles, Star Brothers. He could be a little star brother himself, could he not? How beautiful. How beautiful is that page though? That page. I hold an ornate pentacle in my hands and yearn to uncover its lessons. This is about remembering that we're not alone. This is about learning to trust and open our hearts again. That pentacle, although pentacles often represent things of monetary value and whatever in the tarot, I think in the context of this reading, we can see that the human heart is the real treasure. He's holding it in front of his heart there as well, as you can see quite clearly. I hold an ornate pentacle in my hands and yearn to uncover its lessons. The human heart. The human heart is the portal. The human heart is the most precious thing of all about being a human. Funny enough, I was drawn to scatter hearts everywhere today. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm wearing 6 hearts scattered about here today. It was a symbol I was very, very heavily drawn to as I was getting ready for this reading, in fact. So exactly, we're doing it together though. Let's remember that we're doing it together, because look, they look like family, you know. They look like they could be brothers. Exactly. well, let's do it together. Let's remember that we're part of a family. Let's remember we're part of a human family. We're part of a star galactic family. And let's uncover the treasures of the human heart together, my love. Okay? I'm so loving this. And then we've got that gorgeous 4 of Wands for Breath of the Cosmos. My will to thy will. Okay? 4 of Wands is usually a very auspicious tarot card. Let's see what the Thelema reference says. 2 doves hover, blessing the 4 wands, prepared for ceremony. What celebration is to follow? Well, we know, don't we? We know we're coming up for Yule, so that's what celebration is to follow. You can see a circle there on the ground. Is it a circle or is it another heart, actually? Oh, it is a circle. It's got a little dimple in the top. It could almost be a heart. With sort of fire in, or is it water? Was it fire? I'm not sure. Something very elemental. And to me that suggests you. That suggests a wheel, a year. We're through another midwinter. There's a portal. We've gone through it. The doves of peace, blessing of peace upon us, entering through the portal of midwinter and celebrating you, my loves. My will to thy will. Let my will to thy will sink in. Let my will to thy will be part of our Yule celebration as we move forward, as we raise the vibration to move forward through Winter Solstice 2022, my darlings. I feel quite emotional. It's beautiful energy. Let's see what's coming up like on astrology. Now, these are fairly new, as you know, if you follow me. Still to know these particular cards. Absolutely beautiful cards. Such a good quality on them. They're so thick and gorgeous. The only thing I'll say about it is they don't tend to fall out in a shuffle because they're so big and thick. And you see what I'm saying? So what I do, I just simply cut them. Okay, and we just trust. We just trust Spirit. Completely. Now then, what we've got Pluto, we've got transformation. Okay, transformation represented by Pluto there. Let's see what's coming up there for us. Pluto, what number is there? 11. Oh, 11. Another portal number. Okay, another gateway. We are entering the portal of midwinter for sure. Solstice coming up next week. Let's release as much as we can of trying to do everything on our own, trying to do everything to our own agenda, discord between the masculine and feminine energies. Let's release as much of that as we can while the moon's on the wane, my loves, okay? Before we get to solstice, it's going to be glorious. Pluto, transformation. People living deeply have no fear of death. Okay. Pluto, the smallest and outermost planet of our solar system, probably carries the most weight. It is the planet of extremes. Birth, sex and death are Pluto's themes. Interesting, because I've been feeling a riddle like juxtapose energy all the way through this reading. I'll carry on. In Greek legend, Pluto is the god of the underworld. His earlier name, Hades, came to designate the dwelling place for the dead. The name Hades means the unseen and is a good description of the energies of Pluto, which tend to transform areas of the astrological chart without us knowing until the explosion or blowout. Pluto was discovered in 1930, and although it is now considered a dwarf planet, transits from Pluto are extremely powerful and bring on significant life changes. In traditional astrology, Pluto, the higher octave of Mars, but has some similarities to Saturn, which is also a force of oppression. Pluto governs renewal and rebirth. It brings to the surface things that have been hidden or are felt deep inside. These are sometimes painful to confront, or they are embarrassing or taboo. Interesting. Doesn't that not correlate perfectly with the first energy that we had about healing the masculine and feminine? Didn't I not say that? That these things that we're trying to heal between those are considered quite painful and taboo, yeah? This dwarf planet tends to inspire unwelcome surprises. Pluto can be like a tower collapsing in your life, a life from which you must rebuild from debris and also inspiration. Many things you have relied upon for always being there may suddenly disappear or leave. Certainly see that happening in the world around us. More than anything else, Pluto represents endings and beginnings. It is not a card of physical death per se. Since our lifetimes we experience many deaths and many new starts. This is simply a time when the decks are being wiped clean for new action. Perfect for winter solstice. Exactly. Nature is wiping the deck clean, if you see what I mean. Everything dies back. Everything goes to sleep. It's perfect. I'm just so grateful to Spirit for these confirmations. Most of the time you begin to feel ill at ease with the feeling of something not right, and things go down strangely with an eerie silence like the Titanic. If you are in a relationship that has been difficult, it will either end or it will deepen and become more fulfilling. Any romance that starts at this time could prove to be intense. It is very important not to try and control things. Did we not say that we are letting go of controlling and micromanaging? Okay. Did we not say we're healing all of this fear and control issues between masculine and feminine energies? Yes, we did. That said, this is a time of intense sexuality and it may come up in various forms. Did we not talk about that quite heavily in the first card? Yeah. Various forms. Great sex, not enough sex, strange sex, but most likely intense and consuming sex. In terms of jobs and careers, it may also be time to get another. When the Pluto card presents itself in a reading, you may have recently been infatuated with a hidden subject, certain mysteries, or the taboo. Did I not use the word taboo? This could be a time when you are able to sense and feel the spirits around you. Did I also say we need to come to peace with our psychic spiritual gifts and that they are very real and that you're not crazy? Okay. Sometimes this card can indicate psychic attacks, and thus you should be very careful of who you open up to. Be cautious if you are involved in anything paranormal or occult in nature. You are not particularly vulnerable. In fact, your strength is growing, but it is important at this point in time to spiritually protect yourself from anything negative, such as vampire types of people or lost spirits looking for a home. Now, interesting, I recommend you go back and have a look at the last collective tarot reading I did the other day about the, you know what I'm going to say, the oracle card that came up at the end about the Venus flytrap fairy type people, okay? Just reminded me of that. Just have a little look if you haven't looked at it already, or go back and just watch that bit again to refresh your head. You may become upset concerning something about your past that turns out to be not what you always thought. On a more mundane level, you may have to be more careful with your finances, taxes and inheritances especially. You might have the opportunity to suddenly move to a new home, but beware of foundation, water or sewer problems, and also the possibility that the house might be haunted. Think of Pluto as leftover things that tend to languish in a state of decay or decadence, but more positively rejuvenation, healing and birth, because of course those things follow the other, yeah. Pluto card in brief: destruction, creation. See what I said all the way through it when I was getting that energy of a riddle of, yeah, destruction, creation, regeneration, passing away of the old and bringing to the new. People you know passing away. Funeral homes, mortuaries, hospitals, sewers, latrines, bathrooms, dumps, graveyards, that which has been buried, decay, hidden or unseen things, ghosts, spirits, dark entities, hauntings, the occult, dark magic, sorcery, tunnels, the underground, vampirism, gothic culture, weather, the genitals, procreative systems and the lower colon, crossroads, divorce, changes in finance, the culling back of non-essentials in life, a twisted outlook, profound rebellion, the colours black, purple and maroon. The corresponding tarot card is the Six of Swords. Interesting, because the Six of Swords came up in our last tarot reading, I think. I'm pretty sure it did. Wasn't it the Swedish Six of Swords came out? I think it was, my loves. I might be wrong, but I feel like it was. Key ideas is transformation, endings, beginnings, new ways, the end of the old, intensity. Well, that's certainly appropriate for the winter time and the run up to winter solstice, because it is the end, it is the dying back, it is the culling. It is a season as well where, especially this year, a lot of us have had to tighten our belts, have had to be super careful with money, just cutting back to the essentials of what we need and not splurging so much. Right, so you might find that your psychic gifts are opening up. You might find that's why you've been drawn to this, for instance. You might find that your psychic gifts are opening up, your psychic skills are opening up, you're getting spiritual downloads, your third eye chakra is opening and all of those kind of things. Be careful. And that's not to say be scared. Be careful isn't the same thing as being scared. Don't bring fear into it. There's nothing to be scared of. Nothing at all. You've got your star family, you've got your star brothers watching out for you, alright, my loves? And they are. They truly, truly are. You're part of this community. You've got nothing to be scared of, all right? But being cautious isn't the same thing as being scared. Being cautious is being cautious. It's just being aware that there are people who can't help themselves because it's just their nature, as we covered in the last tarot reading, to take and not give back. So just observe and learn from that, and be careful you don't need to repeat that lesson and take a step back from those people, okay? Draw that boundary when you need to, okay, my loves? Defend, yeah, defend. I mean, there's nothing wrong with sometimes being defensive is a good thing. We covered that in the last tarot reading as well, alright? Yeah, when you're defending this beautiful place and this beautiful state that we've brought ourselves to, alright? Protecting your beautiful energy there. Okay, my darlings, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed my starseed reading. It's been a pretty deep one, I won't lie. Yeah, if I have it on anything that's like a trigger for you, please don't hesitate to get in touch, because I can always point you in the right direction for healing, for professional people who are willing to help you free of charge. Okay, my loves? So do reach out if you're feeling any of that. Please look after yourselves. Please remember that you are on a double mission, that you're here to heal the masculine and feminine, that starts within us, that you're not alone, okay? That it's not about our 3D little egos running around trying to get things done. It's about a bigger picture, my will to thy will. And enjoy the rest of your week, I want to say. I'll be back later on, either later on or tomorrow, with the collective love reading, and this week is for the fire signs. It's for Sagittarius, Aries and Leo, okay? So I'll be back with that either later on today or tomorrow at the latest, okay, my loves? So excuse me, I need to have a little rest now and have a little drink, hot drink, and something to eat to ground this energy. I'll leave you with the love, okay? The love of your own star ancestors, the love of my Pleiadian grandmothers, and my two babas here as well, of course. And thank you so much for your energy. Thank you so much for your time once again. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, please hit share, please send me comments. If you did want a personal reading, I'm more than happy to do that. I can do your starseed reading, I can do your tarot reading, whatever you like. Don't give money away to anyone. Just get in touch with me in the email address that I provide in the box below, and you'll know it's me, and we'll take it from there, my loves, okay? So I'm wishing you all the love, all the light, okay, all the dark, and everything else in between, okay, my darlings? Lots of love. Take care.